And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Lister Pros TV, and today we're here with Rick Keller of Keller and Jade in Las Vegas, Nevada at Fairway Mortgage. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day as a real estate agent. And
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome. So for those watching that don't know who you are, we'll give you a minute to introduce yourself.
Okay, just a minute? It might take
a minute, maybe 5?
10 minutes. No, just kidding. I'm the broker-owner of Keller and Jade Realty and Property Management. Started in real estate in 1987. I'm a native Las Vegan, and we have a full staff that handles the property management side of our business. So I have a full accounting department that my adoring, beautiful wife runs with my 2 daughters and takes care of all the money for our company. We have a field manager who takes care of everything in the field for us, and then 4 very capable property managers that handle the almost 700 properties that we manage. And then, of course, me at the helm that oversees all that, several other admins, and a few leasing agents that help us find tenants for our owners' properties. So that kind of, overall, a little bit about me, and then, my hobbies, I love to play golf, and I like boating, and spending time with my family, and especially my 3 grandchildren, playing in the pool with them or taking them down the slide, that kind of stuff. So those are the things I really enjoy doing. And then, the last favorite hobby of mine is traveling. So, my wife's favorite place is Disneyland, so that's one of our things that we do every year. And so that's a little bit about me. I have 4 children, and that's where the Jade comes from in our brokerage. So Johnny, Angela, Derek, and Darian. So that's hence the Keller and Jade. It's all about our family.
Yeah,
so
makes a lot of sense. So you mentioned you've been in real estate since 1987. So how long has Keller and Jade been around in the property management? And then also, talk to us about that first.
About that? Yeah. 2001 is when I started Keller and Jade Property Management. I was with, it's now Berkshire Home Hathaway Services, but in 1987 I started with Americana Better Homes and Gardens, which is still those people that run that firm that I just mentioned. And then it went to Prudential Americana afterwards. And so I started their property management division somewhere in the 90s. That goes back too far to remember when it was. But the owners of that company decided that they were going to sell off their commercial brokerage as well as their property management side of the brokerage back then. So since I was running it, taking care of it, and had built it basically from the ground up, I went ahead and purchased it from them.
Oh, nice.
And it was a very amenable situation at that point, and that's when I started Keller and Jade in 2001.
So what does your business look like today?
Today, it's a lot different than just property management. We go back to the 2008, subprime crisis and all of that. So we held on through that with all the properties that we were managing, and there was very little sales from 2008 to like 2010. But then we started working with investors, different groups that acquired 100 plus properties. Another family that acquired 50 plus properties, and we're managing their assets for them, and through that subprime crisis situation, and everybody needs a house to live in and a roof over their head. So that model worked for us then. But in 2013, when things started changing, we started doing a little more representation of sellers and working constantly with buyers as well. And now, getting into 2019, the last couple of years, I've been working more specifically, and me personally, with clients doing self-directed IRAs where they buy properties through their individual retirement accounts, and then doing some tax-deferred exchanges with some of our clients too now that bought back in 2010 and are selling their properties now and relocating their asset to a different part of the greater Las Vegas area, maybe a newer home, those kind of needs that are happening. So the company's going that route. In addition, we've been working the last couple of years, like my son-in-law, Steve Ward, he got the number, I think it's 60 or 68 in the first quarter of sales.
Oh, wow.
For Galvar out of like the top 250 producers. And I think there's like 18,000 realtors. So
yeah.
He did real good. He represents some pretty high profile clients that bought one of those Christopher homes up at The View there in McDonald Highlands. And so those are the type of clients that he's been working with. And then, the newest addition to our firm is my son, who just graduated from UNLV with a finance degree, and he's got his own little group going in real estate. So he's calling it the Keller Group, and they just listed and sold a $1.4 million house out in the south off of College Way, a nice big custom home. And so they're doing pretty well there as a group, and they've only been at it for like the last 3 or 4 months.
Oh, geez.
So, and they've got several other listings that they're working on as well.
That's a lot of success early in your real estate career.
Yeah, for him, well, his dad helps out a little bit, and then he knows a lot of people in Las Vegas because he grew up here, and so he's doing well with that. And in closing, where the business is at too. I mean, working with other commercial clients as well. So we're basically getting to be like a full service brokerage. And I've done commercial real estate, I've done property management, I've done sales. But now we're working with some clients too out of Irvine, California, that are looking at buying some commercial, really warehouse space with a little bit of commercial component. And as we know, that marijuana is legal here in Clark County now, and so we're looking at there's some properties that are actually available that have that zoning on it and use with tenants currently living in there, and they're going to do what I was talking about with the tax-deferred exchange. They're going to exchange their property in Irvine over here to Clark County, and they're looking at maybe some warehouse space. So we're working with them through one of our partners in commercial real estate as well.
Awesome. So it sounds like you have a lot of family, and you built your business somewhat around family, but now you're kind of opening it up for additional people as well in the brokerage. So what does your role look like in 2019?
Just more of the same. Continue to take care of the property management side of the company, which is my first and foremost. That's where a lot of the income is derived in the organization currently. But also working with my son and my son-in-law to expand the brokerage and listings and working with buyers. And then, next couple of years, maybe I'll transfer more into my doing commercial real estate on my end of it. Maybe I'll even go back to the board of realtors and start doing some more seminars and things like that, and serving on their committees like I did early in my career, which I really love doing, and I look forward to getting back to maybe doing that after 2022 or something like that.
Sure. And we know there's a lot of options when it comes to property management and real estate. So what makes it appealing for people to work with you and managing their property and selling and buying real estate?
I think the longevity. One, we have clients that have been with me almost my whole career. 25 plus year clients. Wow. That have stayed with us, and they own multiple properties. So that, I think, speaks volumes in itself, that they stay that long, because we're able to, we're experts at marketing their property. We know where to place it to get the maximum exposure. Finding the best tenants, that suit that property. That credit, employment, their previous landlord history is really key. And then ultimately for an investor, they're looking for keeping their maintenance costs down. And being a native Las Vegan, being in the business for as long as I have, I know what the cost of things, for a water tank or a faucet or just these small things that can actually, if the wrong property manager or somebody's hiring, a certain company that might take advantage of that situation, we know what the economies of scale are. And we're going to get those things done at the lowest possible price, but still done by a licensed contractor, which saves, at the end of the day, the investor lots of money, and they appreciate that. Yeah, and then finding and selecting the best tenants, that will stay and renew for the property and the owner is what they're after. They want low vacancy, and they want their maintenance maintained properly on their asset. At the end of the day, they have a good return on their investment, and that's why they stay with us for 25 plus years, because we're able to accomplish that.
So did you say you were born and raised here in Las Vegas?
Native, and I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I have to, my parents moved here in 1967, and I was born in 1964. So yeah, I'm from the
So pretty
Midwest,
much this is all you know. So how have you seen Las Vegas evolve over the last couple of decades?
It's been very exciting to be a resident of Clark County in Las Vegas and watching it. I recall the Mirage when it was built, by Steve Wynn, and it seemed to me that was the first wave of the real estate, when that happened. And then all the casinos started to follow suit with what he had done at the Mirage. And then the second wave, that was fun and exciting to be a part of was when the Bellagio came online. And that was Wynn again. So each time the Strip does something, like they're doing again, like in 2019, World Resorts coming out, and the Convention Visitor Authorities bought the Riviera and imploded it, and they're expanding.
Oh, really?
So when you see all these things that are currently going on the Strip, here comes the next wave. So, I think Vegas is back with a vengeance, and I see great things in the real estate market the next 5 years for Las Vegas. So I advise a lot of clients to buy and or hold on to their properties and their assets if they're renting them out as investments, or do an exchange where they will kind of get out of the older property and into something new in Clark County. But I'm very big on Clark County. I think we're going to do very well in the next 5 years.
Awesome, Rick. Well, for those watching that are interested in looking into your services in real estate, how do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, best way is our office, 702-400-6000. Again, that's 702-400-6000. My email is info@vegas4rent.com. They can also look at our two websites. Our property management site is Vegas4rent.com, and then the main brokerage is Keller, the letter N, JADD.com, Keller and Jade.
Awesome, Rick. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and joining me on Real Estate Pros, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks for having me.